I'm back again, trig analysis students, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up this graphing of the y equals cosecant. Y equals cosecant, which is 1 over sine. As you can imagine, if you have 1 over something, there is the potential that that thing could be 0. When you have 1 over 0, it's undefined. So wherever we have 1 over 0, it's going to be undefined, or 7 over 0 would be undefined. Anything divided by 0 is undefined. Okay, so that's really what we're looking at. All right, so just to review what we did before, at this position here, the coordinates are 1, 0. So let's just stay here for a minute. The cosecant then of 0, or the cosecant of 2 pi, let me go to 2 pi here. 2 pi is just going to be all the way around back. That's going to be 1 over the sine, which is 0. It's going to be undefined. Okay, so we have 1 over 0 undefined here. And so let me just put a star here, undefined here. If we go over here, we're going to find something similar. The coordinates are -1, 0. So the cosecant at this position, pi, is going to be -1. I shouldn't say -1. It's going to be 1 over whatever the sine is, which is 0. So here again we have undefined. So let me stop here for a minute. In the first and the second quadrant, the sine and cosecant are positive, but it's undefined at pi and it's undefined at 0. Right here is a special position, right here, because the coordinates here are 0, 1, and the cosecant being 1 over sine is going to be 1 over whatever the sine is, and sine is 1 here. So that's how come we get 1 here. So right at this position where we have x equals pi over 2 right here, the cosecant is 1. So that's 1 point, right, we have. And here at 0, which is right here, and here at pi, which is right here, it's undefined. So it's going to be positive all in here in the first and second quadrant. So it's going to be above the at the x-axis. Everything's going to be positive, and then undefined here, undefined. So it could not go this way because that's going to run it negative, or this way. It has to go this way, like this. All right. So we got to. Okay, so that's the basic graph. Then I'm just going to give you. It's going to look like this. Undefined as we approach pi, like that. Undefined as x approaches 0, which is what this is. That's the cosecant. All right. How about the other two quadrants, quadrant 3 and quadrant 4? Well, in quadrant 3, only tan is positive, so sine will be negative. In quadrant 4, only cosine is positive, so sine will be negative here. So, but how about right here? Right here, let's go over that. The cosecant at this position here, which would be 3 pi by 2, is going to be 1 over the sine, 1 over the sine, and this should be a -1, my mistake. So the cosecant right here should be 1 over -1, so the answer here should be -1. Okay, and that's going to be right here in the middle between the third and the fourth quadrant. So here they are, third and fourth quadrant. This is right here. So let me go ahead and set up on undefined or vertical asymptote here at 2 pi because it's undefined here at 2 pi or at 0. But again, in quadrants 3 and 4, cosecant is negative. How about at 3 pi over 2? At 3 pi over 2, cosecant at 3 pi over 2 is going to be -1. So let's say this is -1 all the way here, about here. So kind of wrapping it up here for one cycle. At pi, it's undefined. At 2 pi, it's also undefined, but it's negative here. So it's negative right here, -1, and it runs undefined down here, staying negative, and it runs undefined down here. If you're confused, you say, well, could it not go the other way? No, because if it went that way, then it would be what? Going positive. It's not positive, it's always negative. So that's pretty much all that's going to happen with the cosecant graph. Take a look. Right over here, it's positive between 0 or 2 pi and pi, and then it's negative in the second and fourth quadrant, in the third and fourth quadrant. So let's come over here and give you another cycle. This is 2 pi, and here is going to be 3 pi. In the middle of 2 pi and 3 pi is 2.5 pi. I'll just write it this way, 2.5 pi. So let's just focus here. This is 2 pi. This is 3 pi. You know it's undefined here, undefined here. Right here, it is going to be 1. So it's 1 here. Let's say, kind of project this one over. Say right here. And it's undefined right here at 2 pi. It's undefined right here at 3 pi. But it's positive in the first and the second quadrant. So positive going down to 1. Undefined at 3 pi, which is right here. And then finally, between this is 2 pi, this is 3 pi, and now I'm going to complete it all the way here to 4 pi. So at 4 pi right here, it's undefined again, because 4 pi is just like 0. In the middle of 3 pi and 4 pi, we have 3.5 pi. Is there someone saying apple pie there? No. Anyway, 3.5 pi here. So here I go. This is 3 pi. This is 4 pi. Right here is 3.5 pi, where it is what? -1. So -1 projected over to here. And in this quadrant here, third or fourth, it's always negative. So it has to go this way. All right. So from here to here, one cycle. From here to here, a second cycle. All right. I recommend that you practice this. Use your unit circle like I've done with the quadrantal positions to guide you, and you should be able to do this. All right. God help you and bless you as you really exert some discipline in learning this and doing your best for Him. Bye-bye.